Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and we need to talk about putting a spring into a pop-up sprinkler. So I have put together a couple of parts to simulate the inside of the assembly. What you're going to have to do is build the spring in situ inside as you're assembling the part. So here I've got a model of what might look like the riser and the lock ring and the wiper seal. So we need to apply a constraint. So we can put the wiper seal on the riser, okay? And for this demonstration, to make it fast, we are going to apply a constraint between the top of the wiper and the lower part of the nozzle and attach those two. So now we should be able to see that it is nicely constructed. So you can see where the wiper seal is all the way at the top, and we have the lock ring simulation right here at the bottom. It's real important that you understand the dimensions that you have used for each piece. They need to be kind of the same between the bottom and the top, or this won't work. I've made mine intentionally very simple to make this straightforward. Alright, so let's move on. We're going to create a part based on this. So I click create part. We're going to name this spring, not pring, spring. And I've done a few of these, so I'm going to call it spring 8. But you can name it something that you like. We click OK. And now I have to click on this assembly. And you see that the assembly turns clear. Oh, it's terrible. Whatever are we going to do? Notice right here below this tool set, if I click on modify, there is a button that says copy object. This is going to let me bring two objects forward into this assembly so that I can use them as reference. Make sure that associative is checked at this point. Click apply, and then now we see that they have turned orange. Okay, now what we need to do is add an axis. So we're going to add a work axis right here because our spring is going to go around that axis. And I think we need to add a point here. Let's see if we can get it. I need to get a point that is coincident between this axis and this plane where my spring touches the bottom. And I need to add another point between, and I'm going to rotate my part up a little bit, between this axis and the bottom part of the wiper seal where the spring comes in contact. And that's why I left the outer edges off on this example. All right, what I'm going to do now, and I found that the best way to do this is to click Start Sketch, and it should choose my axes here, and it looks like this axis this work plane goes through here. So now we're going to click on this work plane, and I want to make sure that well, that's good enough. We're going to just run with it. All right, so the first thing I need to do is apply a dimension, and I'm doing this first because later it can get a little bit confusing, but we're going to apply a dimension between the top and the bottom plane that the seal rests on. It's going to complain. It's going to say adding this dimension will over-constrain the sketch. Choose accept to create a driven dimension, and that is actually very important, so click accept. Okay. Now we're going to put a circle that represents the profile of our spring at the bottom little corner here. This is where I've been doing it. It seems to work okay. So I'm going to pretend that my spring is 0.2 in diameter, and now I have this little profile. It's not where I want it. I have to project a geometry, this up and down. I need to project this, and I need to project the one that goes left and right. Now I can apply a tangent constraint between this edge and my circle, and I can apply a tangent constraint between the circle and the upright. And what that's going to do is tuck the spring into that corner and make it stick to this face. And I believe at this point we can hit finish sketch. We've added a dimension that has parentheses around it because it is driven, and we have a profile. Now we're going to click on coil, and it's going to guess, oh, I think this is going to be your profile, and that is correct. So we're going to switch over to coil size, and we're going to switch to revolution and height. Okay, and I want to have, instead of this height, I'm going to delete that and click on this value, and notice it says D something. It may be a different one if you've done more than one measurement. And we're going to subtract the diameter of our spring, and that way the spring will stay in between the two planes. If we don't do that, the upper part of the spring will cut into the piece above. And I want to tell it, let's do, I don't know, 5 revolutions. And, oh yeah, I didn't click my axis over here. There we go. Okay, and it's going the wrong direction, so click on this and we'll make it go up. Now we can see where the spring is going to be. We click OK, and we have a lovely spring built in place. So now we hit return right here, and now you can see your assembly has the spring in it.